Hello friends, I'm Parvez and this is our 7th video in PyQt5 GUI Development. In this video we're going to learn about grid layout. Now we have saw edge box layout and also VBox layout. Now it's time to create an example of grid layout. So using grid layout you can align your widgets in row and columns. So for example, if you want to align your widgets in the row in the table of row and columns, then you can use grid layout class. Now we need to create the example. So this is my code for creating of the basic window, and this is just a simple window. Now the first thing we need, I'm going to import QGridLayout, and after grid layout I need to import QPushButton because I want to add the push buttons in the grid layout. So first we need to create the object of QGridLayout like this, and after creating the object of the grid layout, now we need to create our buttons. So this is my first button, QPushButton, and the text is click 1, btn 2, click 2. Now I'm going to just copy this because I want to add some more buttons. This is 3, click 3, btn 4, this is 4, and btn 5, this is 5. Also, let me just copy 2 more buttons in here. And this is btn 8. So now we have created our buttons, and it's time to add these buttons in the row and columns. So for this we can use grid.addWidget. And in here, so the first one is you need to add your btn, so btn 1, and after that we need to specify the row. So I want it should be in the 0 row, and after that you need to add your column, so 0. So row and column is 0. So for the first widget. For the second widget, so it's btn 2 the widget is. For the row I want 0, and for the column I want 1. And now let me just do this for another widget. So add widget btn 3. So for the row I'm going to give it 0, and for the column 2. Grid.addWidget and btn 4. This is 0 row, and also third column, or we can say the fourth because the index is 0. Now we are going to just copy and paste it in here. So now the first one, the row is 1. I change the btn to btn 5, and after that row 1, and also column 1, btn 7, row 1, and also in here we are going to just btn 8, 3, so or third. Now we have created these widgets for the grid layout. After that you need to set your layout for the main window, so self.set layout, and it is grid layout. Now I'm going to run this. Okay, now you can see that we have our buttons in the grid layout. So now this was using codes. Now if you want to use Qt Designer, I'm going to show you that how you can do this using Qt Designer. Okay, open your terminal in the PyCharm IDE, and in here you can just try PyQt5 Designer, If you don't know about PyQt5 Designer, you can watch my previous videos on that. And we are going to use a widget and click on the create. So let me change the title to PyQt5 HBox Layout Qt Designer. So first we are going to just add 8 push buttons in here. So let me just add it like this, and I'm going to just copy and paste once more. So you can change the text, and let me just do it like okay. Now the first thing we are going to just choose all of the push buttons, and after that you need to right click, and from the layout we are going to use layout in a grid. Now you can see that this is in a grid layout. After that, choose your main layout. Also we want to do this also in a grid, layout in a grid. Now you can see, okay, so after this you need to save this and also copy this in your working directory. Save, and you can just give it a name for this. So I'm going to just choose GUIDLayout.ui, so it's user interface file. And now you need to copy your file in the PyCharm ID, so you can just paste like this. And now we need to create a new Python file for loading of this UI. I'm going to just call it load grid. Alright guys, now I have added some codes. So this is just simple code for the window. I have already talked about these codes, and I don't need to repeat it again. Now in here, the first thing we need to just from PyQt5 import UIC, and now in here you need to load your UI. Give the name of your UI, so it's GUIDLayout.ui. So this is this file that we have already copied, and you can see we have 8 buttons in here, and you can load this. We don't have any. Okay, also you need to give the parent to self. Now you can see that we have our grid layout using Qt Designer, so HBox Layout Qt Designer. So thank you guys. I will add the source codes to the video description, and you can get all the source code from the video description.